It's hurricane season, and forecasters are predicting an above-average season once again.
The last 2 years we've been in La Nina, and La Nina typically means more hurricane activity, specifically in the Gulf of Mexico. And this year we're in La Nina right now, and we're hoping we're going to switch to neutral, which would mean fewer events. But if we stay in La Nina all summer, then we're probably going to be in for a busy late summer into the fall for hurricane season here in the Gulf of Mexico. You don't know if it's going to come here to Southwest Louisiana or Florida or Texas, but in general, if we don't get out of La Nina, then we're going to have a really active season in the Gulf. Generically speaking, you average around 12, 6, and 3. So 12 named systems. Out of the 12 systems, 6 of them become a hurricane. Now those 6 hurricanes, 3 become Category 3 or stronger. That's an average year. But we're expecting this year to be busier than normal, not just for the Gulf, but for the whole basin. So rather than 12, 6, and 3, maybe more like 18, 9, and 4 or 5. 4 or 5, 6 major hurricanes. The peak time of the season for the Gulf of Mexico is typically the first 6 weeks of school, so middle of August through the end of September is the peak time for us. All we can do is monitor the storms as they develop out there. Typically July is a quieter month, and then August is when things pick up, and sometimes it can be totally quiet in the beginning of August, and then suddenly the third week of August it just gets super busy, and you'll have 4, 5, 6 systems out there at one time. So. Bottom line for any hurricane season, you don't want to let your guard down. You just got to keep up with the weather. And you think about a lot of the storms that we've had in the last 4 or 5 years, you don't track them coming across the Atlantic for days or a week ahead of time. A lot of these systems kind of develop in the Gulf, and then they make landfall 3 days, maybe 4 days later, so you don't have a lot of lead time.
One of the main things we're looking at this year is the last 3 hurricanes, I think, landfalling hurricanes in the United States, have gone from being tropical storms to major hurricanes within 3 days. In the past, we had used a planning cycle of 5 days or maybe even greater when systems were coming off of Africa. But that hasn't been working for us lately, so the amount of time that we have to make a decision about things like evacuation, sheltering, etc., the time is cut down on that, and that's one of the things we're concerned with this year. We need for people to be ready really for the next, through the end of September and October, to go at a moment's notice almost. We may only have 2 to 3 days to make a decision on that. So we're calling for people to get their preparations done early. We know there are problems with gasoline and other expensive items that may need to be taken with you for your evacuation. It would be a good idea now to be gathering all of those things. Making a family communication plan is one of the most important things you can do. Let your friends, your neighbors, your family know where you're going to go, where you're going to be, and get that little networking going so that you can, after the storm passes, you can quickly assimilate back to home.
Keeping informed about the weather is a must during hurricane season.
If you live in Southwest Louisiana, we say this all the time, Southwest Louisiana, Southeast Texas, you have to be familiar with hurricanes and how they react. One of the recommendations we make is to follow the National Hurricane Center website. And the day that we're speaking today, there's a little feature coming off of Africa right there, that little yellow X mark. But you need to pay attention to that weather daily. The National Hurricane Center, the National Weather Service website, your local television stations all do a good job of projecting what might be to come. So just be thinking, when you see something like this, be thinking, I may have to leave fairly quickly if this develops into a hurricane.
For the Parish Line, I'm Margaret Higgins.